Happy Cast Iron Wednesday. This week I'm starting with bacon in my little cast iron skillet. So 5.5, 6 inches or so. Gonna get that burned up, and then we are making meatloaf. So I'm gonna use my big Dutch oven for the meatloaf. Ingredients are super simple. Beef, mushrooms, onion, an egg, breadcrumbs, pepper, and Swiss cheese. I'm going to make Swiss mushroom meatloaf, which I have never made before. Wish me luck. I really don't see how this can be bad. Step number 1, meatloaf. That's about 900 grams or so of ground beef. To that, we're going to add the mushrooms and the onions. And I am going to soak the breadcrumbs and the egg with some milk and pepper before we add that in there. Then we're going to add the Swiss cheese. We're going to add some bacon. We're going to mix it all together. We're going to bake it in the Dutch oven. And then we're going to pull it out of the Dutch oven. We're going to add some more Swiss cheese on top, some more bacon on top. And then we're going to just use this really simple canned gravy. And it's going to be delicious. I hope. One thing my grandmother always did when she made her meatloaf is she always soaked her breadcrumbs in milk. Makes like a soggy goop, but that's going to be your liquid and your binding agent for your meat. And you can just crack your egg right in there and let it all soak together. Add some pepper for good measure. Go. And get your old spoon or fork. Just mix it up together. There we go. I'm just going to let that soak, and then we're going to add that in there after I get the onions and the mushrooms chopped up, put in there. Keeping an eye on my bacons is 2 pans of bacon going here because I've got almost a pound. Wouldn't fit in either one of them, so I'm just going to use them both. Okay, it's Cast Iron Wednesday after all, but it doesn't mean you can't use anything else, right? Bacon. It smells delicious in here already. Alright, next up we're going to slice up all of our mushrooms. I'm going to make them pretty small, like a rough chop, a rough dice. Not too small. We want to taste them. We all like mushrooms in here. Abby's not crazy about the texture, so I'm going to make them a little bit smaller so she doesn't quite notice them so much. It's okay if there's too many, because I'm going to make some gravy and we can add some mushrooms to it at the end. I just got a canned gravy to make it super simple. Less heat in the kitchen today is good. It's 30 degrees out there right now, which is pretty warm. Alright, that's pretty boring. I'm going to do some more and then I'll come back. Bacon is looking pretty good to me. I'm going to turn off the heat on both of these. It's okay if it's a little bit overdone because it's going to cook in the meat and get a little soggy. So I'm just going to let that sit. I'm going to take it out, let it drain, and then I'm going to add it to meatloaf. Alright, I'm going to tray full of mushrooms. I'm going to dump them in a bowl with the meat. Mushrooms and meat, and now we're moving on to the onion. I'm going to slice this up and add it too. Same as the mushrooms, I want this pretty small. Don't mind if it melts away in there. I don't want any big pieces of onion. there we go. Nice pile of onions. I'm gonna add those into the meat too. All right, onions. Drop them in the bowl there. The meat, and the mushrooms. There we go. And then I'm gonna chop up the bacon. The bacon needs to be chopped. It's gonna go in there too. I'm just gonna leave a little bit for the top. All right, and that's going to go in to my bowl. All right, next step. I'm going to take this breadcrumbs and egg and milk, and I'm just going to drop that in there. Alright, now comes the messy part. Get in there with your hands and mush it all together. Try not to get it all over the counter like me. There we go. Mush it all together. I'll be right back and show you what it looks like when it's all mixed. I almost forgot my cheese. I'm going to dice up my cheese and I'm going to add that to my bowl too. Be right back. Okay, this pack came with 6 pieces of Swiss cheese. I'm just leaving 2 that we're going to put on the top, and these 4 I'm going to come up really tiny and we're going to stick it in there. I added the rest of the bacon. We don't need bacon on top. We're just going to put it all in the goodness. All right, cheese. I'll make these a neat little pile. I could not find a block of Swiss cheese at Walmart this week or last week, so sliced will do. Maybe it might have worked better if I froze it, I guess, but I think this will do just fine. I don't know how big or small to make them. Like I said, I've never made this before. Just experiment. I think it's going to be a delicious one. As Cousin David in Scotland says, food is a game you can eat. I love that philosophy. All right, there we go. One big pile of Swiss cheese. We're going to add that in there. All right, now I'm going to mix it all up. And then I'll bring it back once it's a loaf going in the pan. Oh, and cheese stuck in the bowl. Alright, so you can see that's all mixed together. Now there's different ways you can do this. You can put it in a loaf pan. You can put it on a baking sheet. I'm going to do mine in my cast iron Dutch oven. Alright, what I'm going to do is I've got this piece of parchment paper in the bottom of my Dutch oven here. Yes, I know, if I let it go on there it'd be crispy and wonderful, but this is easier for cleaning, which is easier for me, so I'm all for it. I'm going to take my loaf here, and I'm just going to drop it right in there. Give it a little bit of extra smoosh. There we go. All right, looks pretty good. Just gonna move it away from the edges a little bit. Put more cheese on there. There we go. I'll show you what that looks like inside. There we go. One meatloaf ready to go into the oven. I've got my oven set at 350 Fahrenheit. Lid on, lid off, lid on, lid off. I'm always indecisive. We're gonna go lid off. Into the oven it goes. There it goes. I'll see you when it's done. To go with our meatloaf, we're having green beans, mashed potatoes, and canned mushroom gravy with extra gravy. I mean, extra mushrooms. Extra mushrooms. See you when it's time to plate it up. Canned gravy can be a little salty, or a lot salty even, so I add extra milk to mine. And we're going to add in the extra mushrooms and some more pepper. And then we'll add that on top of the meatloaf when we're done. Forgot to mention that I also added some of the bacon fat from the bacon we cooked to put in the meatloaf in there. I'm not putting bacon in the gravy, but a little bit of bacon fat. Not going to hurt anything. It's going to make it taste a little bit better, I think. I have my extra mushrooms on my little cast iron skillet. I'm going to add those in there beside the Dutch oven. I think you can see in there. All right, it's not ready yet. That's okay, because my potatoes are just coming up to the boil. I'll let those go. Get the broccoli going. Get the gravy going, and then it's time to eat. My mushrooms, my extra mushrooms are good. Add those to the gravy. Mashed potatoes are ready. Abby did most of the work for those.
Hi.
Green beans are ready to go on the heat. Let's check the meat. Alright, meatloaf is looking pretty done to me. So I'm going to add our Swiss cheese to the top. And then we're going to put it back in the oven, let it melt. And then it's time to eat. Our green beans are ready. Our potatoes are ready. And our gravy is ready. Plating soon. Oh yeah. This looks and smells so good. Come check it out. There we go. Swiss mushroom bacon meatloaf. Time to serve it up. Alright, that's my brother's serving. We got potatoes, we got green beans, we got gravy. Do you want gravy right on your meatloaf, Bubba? Yeah? Alright. Mushroom gravy going right on the meatloaf with a little bit of extra for potato. There we go. And the final plate for the chef. Swiss mushroom bacon meatloaf, green beans, potato salad, gravy, and there's a little bit of meatloaf left for somebody to have for lunch tomorrow. Let's go dig in, because I am starving, and this looks and smells amazing. Abby's just finishing up getting us some milk to go with our meatloaf dinner. Good job.
Thank you. You're lucky I love
All right. Grace has been said. Time to dig in. Everybody take a bite of their meatloaf. Is it good? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Yeah? Excellent. Looks amazing. I put some black pepper on mine. I'm going to add a little bit of hot sauce, I think. So good. Happy Cast Iron Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have an amazing day. I hope you're eating well. And I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you indulge your sweet tooth a little bit. Cheers. Cheers, my friends. That's good. I don't know why I never made that before. Please share your favorite meatloaf recipe with us because we love Meatloaf.